Christina Marie.
I don't get you off there.
There you go.
Is that the,
Tom,
that's
that's
not the
good.
same one that went through Ohio last week, was it? Is that the same?
She's
one?
like, let me scooch over just.
No, this one just started
You guys
yesterday.
need to
There's
sit up to the
some-
table, get me
So
out of
I
here.
want to,
Up on there, but
There was something
talk,
that
I
went
have to
through.
move it
I don't
around.
remember which one.
Yeah,
But
it's,
they
it's
just,
easier.
Do we have the mics on,
I
Christina?
think they travel a similar
Sorry.
Are
route
the mics
every
on?
time we meet in
The lights
Illinois.
are on.
Okay.
So
And the box is
if
on.
the drought is
So
north
you're
or the
alive.
drought is
All right, let's
south,
start.
where they
Okay.
go, it's just
Exactly.
the way it is.
Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you everybody for being here. Welcome to our 2026 first day of budget hearings. General discussion first, so I will let Jackie take it over.
I think there's some new people on the council who I have not met. I'm Jackie Clements, Director of Planning and Professional Development at the Association of Indiana Counties. I'm a former county auditor in 2 different counties, former county recorder and former state legislator. So, just to give you a little bit of background. And I've been working with Putnam County now for 10 years. When I first came here, we were scraping and barely adopting with any kind of cash operating balance, and now we're way past that. So we do some hard work. So before you, you have what we call the levy worksheet. And this is just a synopsis of where all of your operating funds, not everything we budget, but the main operating funds are in conjunction with the levy. The way everything stands right now, we're $3 million over levy in our request. That being said, we only have 3.6 million as the anticipated cash operating balance here. And that won't change unless you get further down from the 3 million as you do your cuts. And with the volatility of upcoming taxes and what's happening and new credits, I would recommend if we can to get that up a little bit more to kind of protect us from the unknown. So the other thing that's new, and for those of you who are new, the left side, these are all of our tax rate funds. Whether they're done by accum rate, which takes the rate times the net assessed value, or they're levy driven, where we take the amount we need, and divide it by the net assessed value. That's how we get the rate. So as we work, I'm gonna walk through it. As we walk down it, I'm gonna start with, I'll just do county general. That first line is what's being requested by all of the department heads and elected officials. Line 2 is the necessary expenditures. That's what we have left that we've already appropriated for this year, because now that we're in budgets, we do an 18-month cycle. We're working 18 months, not 12. The 200,000, that's a possible additional appropriations that allows us in the last 6 months of the year to do up to $200,000 worth of appropriations that won't impact our ending cash operating balance. Not saying that's all we can do or we have to do all of that, but that's the amount that's taken into consideration to not impact the cash operating balance. Showing that we need in the next 18 months $22,894,430 to operate. That's our request. So then we drop down to our cash on hand. The first line, the 7 million, is our cash operating balance at June 30th. That's what's in the general fund account as of June 30th. We anticipate that we'll receive $1.9 million in property taxes in the December settlement, and that is taking what was calculated and charged out there and subtracting what we took in the first half. Then the next line that is anticipated revenue for the last 6 months of this year. And that anticipated revenue is our certified shares, our recorder's fees, court cost, all of those miscellaneous fees, excise tax, all of those that are not property taxes that come in. And then for all of next year, we anticipate $6,068,000, giving us a total of $18,506,000 in cash. So that shows we want 22 million, we only have 18 in cash. We need to raise at least $4 million to fund those on a zero basis. Then we add our circuit breaker losses in and our cash operating balance, which is what the $4 million is, and that's broke out down here below. 359 is circuit breaker and 3.6 is cash operating. And that tells us we need to raise $8,397,000 in order to fund this budget, but we're $3 million over levy, so we can't raise that much, so we have to cut. New to this sheet this year is the breakdown at the bottom, and I know it's kind of small, but the breakdown at the bottom, it shows the 2025 actual circuit breakers for each of those funds. Debt service doesn't have one. Debt service is protected and doesn't pay. So, currently in county general, we have $127,000 worth of circuit breakers. That's those people who either are age 65 and it didn't go up, it can't increase more than 2%, or a homesteaded property, or any one of the different buckets. That's the amount that's greater than their tax bill than 1%, 2%, or 3% of their gross AV. So then I've added the new credits to it. And for the circuit breakers, with all of the new circuit breakers coming in, I've added the estimate from the Department of Local Government Finance, and I used their estimate just because there's just no way. We know. We'll hope they're good. Is $198,000. The new credit out there for age and disability, and that's $125 credit on the tax bill for if you have an age deduction, or if you did have an age deduction or a disability. And then the new homestead credit, which is 10% of the net AV, or up to $300. And those are the breakdowns. So that takes our new amount for county general to $359,000, which is more than double of what we had. So if you look up here at the top, our new revenue with our 4% growth, up here at the top is $252,960. That's our new revenue with the levy growth. But the difference between our circuit breakers, what they were, and our circuit breakers are what they're going to be, is $336,000. So we're basically losing $100,000 in levy over all of those funds than what we had in 25. Any questions? When you get to the right side, starting with the highway, and I split out your highway into highway restricted and non-restricted to see if they fund, because we're at a point where a lot of counties are struggling funding both sides, mostly the non-restricted. They're struggling. So this gives you a picture. With what's been requested, we're fundable in both funds. But that negative number there means that we have more cash than we need, so we're good. On the non-tax funds, that cash operating balance, or that amount required, needs to be a negative amount because we don't need it. We've got more money than what we requested. The only one, the
Okay,
Once you
I forgot.
separate those, to what, I give you a suggestion in there,
Mhm.
they'll be fine. But right now, it's duplicated, just like the sheriff and the jail, that way the council can decide
Where
how
it
you
comes
want
from.
to distribute that.
One thing you wanna watch as you work on those lit revenues and the highway too, is your new money, your 26 budget to the new money coming in. The ideal thing is to not budget more than your new money. And then as your cash operating builds up, when you have those special needs, you can fund them. If you budget more, then new money coming in, that cash balance will just fall off, which is what happened history in the past. We were budgeting more than new money coming in, and what cash operating we had at one point in time was gone. And we struggled for about 4 years. Really struggled. And now you're good.
I sent out an email reminder to all department heads this morning, reminding them of their budget workshop. And I just got a text from your first person on the agenda today that she is homesick.
So that's the first one you expect, right? No, just joking.
She's been homesick the last few days, actually from a major spider bite.
Oh, that's not
Yeah.
good. Well, I hope she gets better. Hope she gets better.
But she is not here, so I
Okay.
don't do is want to bump her, and she's hoping to possibly be in tomorrow. Or you can review her budget, and if you have any questions, you can
Yeah.
relay it to her, so it's however you want.
The clerk, the first budget. So, I mean, we can review it and discuss it. If you have any questions, then we can send it out to her. Do you guys have any other questions for Jackie on this? I know it's clear as mud, right? It does get better after reviewing it over and over again over years. So you guys wanna go ahead, start with the clerk's budget and?
Yep.
Okay. Alright. I know that you made some notes on the bottom of these, thank you very much for that. Do we know the increase for the office supplies, repairs and maintenance, per diem? And I know she's got her part-time and she's not using it, so I don't know if you guys wanna cut it, leave it, anybody have questions, thoughts on any of this?
I mean, it's hard to have any real thoughts without,
I know.
Don't have
An answer, yeah.
I know. Well, my questions would be, do you really need the part-time help, since you are not using it really for the most part? Office supplies and repairs and maintenance, and the per diem and conferences or whatever, the increases, that's the questions I would have for Tracy. I understand she's not feeling well, and that's great, I hope she gets feeling better, but if she could give answers back to those requests for me, that would help me out. Anybody else have any thoughts or questions that we might be able to answer without her here? Probably not.
Office supplies went up 25%. Yeah, is that just a price increase, or is
And-
that
and that's
an
what-
amount? that
And that's what
she
we've had
used?
departments in the past too. We know that the cost of living, basically life has gone up, so they just automatically put
Right.
that increase in there, so
Right.
we try to nix that. If you need it, it's one thing, but just to do it because that doesn't work either,
Yeah.
so. Any other thoughts, concerns?
I think just clarification of those since they went up so much.
The next one is her election one. That one goes up and down, all the time because of the non-election years and election years. So I didn't really have any questions on those, not knowing what things are. I know that they increased the, hourly rate for the, what was it, the board? But that actually went down. I don't want the whole we're short. So that,
6 months later.
yeah, because if memory serves me correct, they increased that rate that they got paid for the board, correct?
They increased several things.
But yet, for 2024, they spent 9,157, but we went down to 8,400.
Some of the expenditures that you're seeing in 2024 is when the accounts were being used for paying companies,
Yes,
not
what they were
for
actually meant for.
individuals. So you're gonna see these numbers are skewed
Okay.
and not actually what would have been for the night workers or absentee boards. That was the struggle, and if you remember, she was doing a lot of transfers, and then
Yes.
ultimately had to do some additionals to pay some of the precinct workers.
Yes, I remember that. Okay.
Well, even if you look past the line items, like the total for the 1,000, 10,000 series is still 7,000 less than it was in 24.
Yeah. So election night workers went from 13,000 to 4,000.
Right.
I can ask her to review and
Just makes me nervous, the budget
triple check,
went
because
down.
Because we wanna have it in the budget instead of having to try and find it next year.
Right. Thank you. And then her other one she has is the perpetuation, which, excuse me, there's no change there. Any other thoughts, questions for Christina to send to Tracy?
I mean, I just think on the going back to the first one, without any reasons, I don't see, I wouldn't increase the repairs and maintenance and office supplies and cut out the part-time help without some sort of justification for it.
Agreed. Agreed.
His suggestion is if she can't justify the increases, then don't even,
No,
she was making sure they weren't officially cutting anything.
nope, not yet. Not without her here to give us some kind of answers in regards to something. Now, it comes around tomorrow, she still can't, we still don't have any answers, then she can always come back before us and ask for an additional later on if needed.
Repairs increased to 35,000.
You could call and find.
We could do that.
No,
She decreased it.
yeah, it went down 25 to 35,000, she kept it the same.
Yeah.
We're good?
Yeah.
Anybody down here? You guys are quiet down here.
No, I think it's just clarifying.
Yep.
That second page doesn't make sense.
Oh, the election office?
Yeah.
And Stacia probably could come down and answer for that one if need be also, if we need her to. Cause she's up there, so,
Texting Tracy.
okay.
I asked if she was available via phone. I don't know how she should
Yeah.
want to do it,
No,
or
it's
if
fine.
she's just gonna be here tomorrow to be able to answer your questions.
That's fine.
If not, then I'll get them either via text or email and I'll convey it to you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Are we anywhere close for an IT person, where these repairs and maintenance could,
Rick and I have, I've gathered some information from Doug over from Hendricks County, their IT person, and he's the head of the association for the IT or whatever, but that's as far as we've been able to. We need to get something together to send out so we can get some quotes or whatever back in, so we're struggling, but we're trying. Still on the,
it just seems to me we'd be better off with the central and get away with this.
agreed.
I mean, there's still gonna be some software, some other issues,
Yeah.
but I mean,
And that's what I was gonna say, part of her repairs and maintenance is for her software
Yeah.
company. Yes.
I think it'd be easier to budget that with a person salary wise than it would be for each
Agreed.
department to ask for more, cause they don't know what's coming.
Right, right.
I mean, some of it you do, like software and stuff like that, is a hard cost, you know what's gonna come, but
Yes.
like I said, you don't know the printer's gonna break down or computer's gonna break down, so.
Absolutely.
And if you gotta call somebody out,
You
it's
have to wait. It's
from
out
the
of
time they
commission.
leave their office till they get back to their office, I mean, you're spending a couple $100 just
Yeah.
in travel
So
costs.
like, this budget will
Like I said, I
come out
think
of
we could
general fund, so it's
narrow this stuff
1,000.
down real quick and save some money if
So
we,
then we're
Right.
here, like, this is
Get that
the
done.
fund number. So you can
Tracy
just,
texted me back.
follow that across.
yeah,
Okay.
so if you wanna know like how,
Okay.
where this is gonna have an
Yeah.
impact,
Send her your
you can
questions
follow the
today,
fund and
though.
know it's
That way she
coming
hasn't
here.
took
That way she can research
Okay.
and.
So, like,
answer
Yeah, I
any
wondered what
questions.
was covered
Yep,
up in that
that'll work.
hole.
That'll be
As we
great.
get into some of this stuff, so like the.
So
EMS
Jay's
or
being
the
a great
EMS,
person over here. Do you
Like,
guys have
there
questions
are
in
things we can
regards
put in
to
this one
where
or
this
that
is
one.
coming
Right
out
now, they're
of?
listed in both.
I mean, it's up here on the
Okay.
top, that's your
So
general fund.
sometimes year to
Um,
year, I have
and
to
then the
move
location
stuff
is just the
to
department
make the
itself.
numbers
To make the
balance.
puzzle.
So that
fit,
would
yeah,
affect
gotcha.
your first
Okay,
line
yeah.
item
Thank you.
of Jackie's form, yeah.
But you can get, like, so a whole bunch of them are gonna be county general, and then a lot of these are like very specific.
Okay,
So,
okay, all right.
but there's so many numbers on here, it's hard to know which ones we
Yeah,
want.
if I didn't put this together, I don't,
Exactly.
it's kinda hard to follow, so, yeah, yeah.
Don, you come in. Come on in, Don. You can come in. We're good. All right, next we have the assessor. Come on up.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Doing good. Just walking right here, huh?
Yes, sir. All right, let's go ahead and start with your county general budget.
That's the 1,000.
Yes, the 1,008.
I think everything is the same as what I submitted. Do you have questions for me about it?
Something that was pointed out to us was the dues are in your, that, or you have in your 30305, is also in your reassessment budget. Do we need the duplicates?
Well, for the people that are my other employees that have dues that they may end up paying, that's probably why it's there.
So you don't just pay for it out of one
Not
department?
not normally, but, I mean, I can if you guys wanna change that to that.
Normally, if it's like my auditor association dues, you pay 1% of your salary.
Right,
So that we factored in the assessor, and then I think it was like $600 or something for this year, and then to do $20 or $40 for each of your deputies after that.
is that how yours is done also?
Yes, I mean, I'm just following along with the way it's always been, so.
Ah, that,
Would it be simpler and cleaner to put it into one?
yes,
If that's what you recommend, I'm okay with that.
yeah. How about we switch it to, does it matter which one?
They're both in the levy, so it
Yeah.
doesn't matter.
No,
Okay,
do you prefer?
I'm okay with either or.
Okay. It doesn't really matter. You got the majority of it in your reassessment, your 4928, so we'll just leave that there and we'll take it out of the county general. Does that work?
That works?
We're moving it out of reassessment,
No, we're moving out of county general.
into reassessment. Okay,
Yeah.
sorry.
So we're taking it out of, that will be going then?
Yep,
Is
that,
right?
that will go
And
to a
going-
0,
And going to,
and then that will go to your 30305 in the next page, and add that one.
But we do need to add them together, it's not a
Right, we need to
duplication.
add those, you need that total amount, correct? No?
I normally would, yes. It just,
But
I
you-
haven't had a lot of people going to like conferences and whatnot where they didn't have to pay the dues. I'm starting to have well, I'm looking at hiring another person, so he or she's gonna have to start going, so I'll have to pay the dues for the conferences.
But
Dues
you've
and
also just-
registrations are different.
Yeah, you have dues and registration, that's separate.
Yeah,
So
but
you have
then,
your conference registration and you have your dues. So there's two separate accounts, line items for those.
And his,
I said he doesn't have that.
for registration and hotels and stuff is in the sales disclosures. That's why you're not seeing it in
Okay.
either of those revenues.
Yep, he's got 3,039 in his per diem and conferences in his 1131.
correct.
So is this actually the dues portion, or is this for your registration? So maybe that,
It's for the dues, like, when, I'm assuming the dues are for,
dues will be like for your association.
correct, yes. And I don't do the registrations for the conferences out of the dues.
You do that all out of your 11, or your 1131.
1131, correct.
Okay, but you don't utilize all of those out of your dues.
Haven't in the past.
So why don't we just, do we know how much you used last year for the dues?
$640.
So why don't we just nix the one out of county general, leave the 1,000 and see how that works out?
If I run short, I can just ask for it to be taken out of somewhere else. I mean, I'm
Yeah,
okay
or
with
if you
that.
have a little bit left over in another account, you can always transfer that a little bit from the, another account over there.
That'll work,
Does that work?
sure.
You used 617 out of the other account, so you used 1257 total.
Jay, don't make my head hurt so it's more than earlier. What
I
are you
don't wanna
talking
make
about?
them come back for
You don't want him to come back? I don't know how
a
much
little
he
bit.
used. He used, he used the 617 out of 2024, correct? Or is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. So I mean,
Because they were different years. One was 24, one was 25.
we'll say 24.
I think so far I've used 592 out of that 1,000 fund for dues so far.
Which normally your dues are due at the beginning of the year, so it's probably all you would use out of there for the rest of the year.
I mean,
Jay, where are you talking about? Cause you lost me.
There's $617 in the reassessment for 2024.
Yeah, I saw that.
And then in 2024, the assessor, there's two, and it's because they were two separate years, but he paid it in one year. Because we get our due paperwork early, so
Yeah.
depending on when he submitted it, it probably paid in December for
For the
2025.
Yeah.
okay, but we couldn't tell that off
No,
this.
you can't tell
Okay,
that.
all right.
No, I'm like, what are you guys
I
talking
only know
about?
that because the claims stuff come through our office.
Right. Okay. So let's recap what we just gave ourselves a headache with over some dues. We zeroed out the 30305 out of county general.
Yes.
And then we left the 30305 out of the 4928 in reassessments as is,
Yes.
and that's it, correct? Everybody on the same page?
So we're not gonna add it back to,
No.
No.
okay, gotcha, I need to change that then,
You're
okay, okay.
That's all.
Nah,
What's the amount in reassessment?
The reassessment one is 1,021, but, or what's already in there, yeah. Are we good? Yeah. That was a headache for a second. Alright, are we good with the county general one? Do you have any more questions, changes?
Oh, I got one. So the repairs and maintenance, we jumped it up a lot last year and you kept it the same. Was that for something specific last year, or is that
Your
just the
303
new number going
Yeah, your
forward?
30303.
Right now, I haven't spent any of it so far yet this year, but it looks like I'm needing to pick up a tablet, and software expenses for that tablet that I'll probably spend before the end of this year.
Do we have an idea of approximate cost for that?
It'll just about wipe out that total amount.
Now, what do you pay for, because in 2024, you didn't have anything for equipment. You put in for 3,308 in equipment now. What do you pay out of your equipment?
And we're still on the,
We're still on kind of general.
I still have the 3308 in there for this year.
And your,
I haven't used any of it yet.
and what were you expecting to?
Well, a combination of, that tablet will be a combination of that 3308 and that other 5557 from the repairs, supplies, and maintenance.
So your tablet and your software are gonna cost $8,000?
Somewhere right around there.
9,000.
It'll be
Yeah.
about 7,800.
Is that a pretty, is that price pretty well set, or is it a,
I just started looking at it last week, so I don't have the absolute total numbers just yet. I know that Exhaust charges over $5,000 just for the software license and setup. The tablet we have to buy on our own.
So is that something
Okay.
that you have to purchase every year?
No, that's a one-time fee, and then there's like an $1,100 yearly fee that will go on top of that Exhaust contract.
So then you won't have that expense for next year for the 2026 budget?
I don't think so yet, no.
Well, we're $3 million over budget, so that's why we're asking questions. And it's an educational process also.
So the repairs, maintenance, and support is, there's no additional maintenance and support, it'll just be part of the cost of the tablet plus the equipment.
Correct.
What other do you spend out of your, normally, do you spend anything else out of your repairs, maintenance, 30303? I mean, typically computers or, I mean,
Are we still in county general too, because we're flipping back and forth, so just making sure.
Oh, we're still in general.
yeah. We're still in general. Because most of your repairs and maintenance comes out of the other reassessment.
I think that's mainly Nexus, isn't it? The
Is that your nexus?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then what about the equipment and reassessment? You have $19,303.
On that same, in 1,000?
She switched to
No,
the
she's,
Oh,
reassessment.
you're-
she's
No,
switched.
she switched.
Yeah, she switched this time.
Yeah, because from what I know, I got 4 different accounts, so
You're right. We're trying to keep it to a 2 right now.
are you talking about the 4928?
Yes. Yep.
And we're talking 30303?
No, we're below the one.
Yeah, I did.
Yep,
The last couple of years has been because of new servers. And I was asked to keep that in there just in case I need another server. I don't know if I'm gonna get one this year or not.
Usually servers are
For
once
multiple,
every 4 years.
yeah.
Yeah, we had to do 2 the last 2 years, so.
How many servers do you have?
2. Well, and
So
the
you
one
should be
old
good
one,
4 years.
yeah.
Yeah, you should be good then. Well, if the tablets are just a one-time purchase,
I think
I
strike it.
yeah, I don't see the need to continue to keep those numbers in there for 2026, but that's my thoughts. Anybody else?
If It hasn't been, the money hasn't been used this year, if it can be purchased before the end of the year in the 25 budget.
Right, which
Then
is,
it wouldn't
sounds like
be-
that's your plan.
Yeah,
That's my
then it would
plan.
be needed for 26.
Mhm.
Ideally, I'm going to need two, but I'm not gonna buy two right away. Just one right now, maybe one possibly next year. There's only two people that will need to use them.
Thoughts?
You could cut your 41,000 in half, be able to buy another tablet next year.
I mean, I would, without a need at the moment, I don't see why we would leave that in there.
Got a number, you want to completely take it out, or you want to leave a little bit?
Well, I mean, you said it's like $1,100 or something
Yeah.
yearly subscription or whatever you called it.
Mhm.
Or what you can do is just take it all off of the 1,000 fund and
Utilize what you have in your
utilize
reassessment one.
in the, yeah,
That's fine,
I mean, that helps.
yeah, I'm good with that.
What's your council?
So we're taking it 30303 out of county general and equipment? Yeah, we're gonna take all those out, and then he's just gonna use the reassessment to, see what he can get by with, and then if we have changes or need something comes up, then you can come back and talk to us.
Is the
Yeah.
tablet a brand new purchase or is it?
It'll be a brand new purchase.
So you need, you're saying you actually need an additional one?
We don't have any at the moment.
At all? Okay.
It'll be
Okay.
brand new.
Okay.
There's kind of a dual purpose on that. It streamlines the work outside, but it makes the work on the inside way better. Because they actually take the pictures and everything with the tablet and it's automatically downloaded to Xsoft. Normally I have somebody that spends half of their day just putting pictures into the software.
Gotcha.
So for the 1,000 fund, we removed the repairs and maintenance and support for the 5,557, the dues for the 972, and the equipment for 3,308. And then we're keeping the equipment and the reassessment at 19,303.
Well, if we don't need a server, I don't know that needs to be
Yeah, I don't
that,
think-
maybe it can be half that or something.
Yeah, cause,
Because the 10,000 would cover the cost of a, new tablet and software. If it's about 7,800. If we just got a or two servers, we shouldn't need another one.
Donna, are you just still doing like what the previous assessor did too, and just increasing it 5% as many accounts each year?
I was
Just as an
for
automatic
the first 2 years, but this last year, because of my large contract with Nexus, I went ahead and I kind of kept things kind of even. I even took money out for gas reimbursement, because I don't have all that expense.
I just noticed it went up 5%, office supplies, repairs and maintenance,
I think on those I
and
did.
labor.
I think on those I did, but I don't necessarily have to have it.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, in the repairs, maintenance, support, and the 4928, that's the 41,000, that's for the Nexus, right?
well, no, professional contracts will be your Nexus.
Yes, the professional contracts is Nexus.
The repairs and maintenance is, it increased because of that server that you purchased, so,
Correct.
and you've only used 500
And some of that in 30303 is also the pictometry part of Xsoft, because when Robbie left, we had to pick up part of her job.
So how much has been spent out of repairs and maintenance as of current?
Out of the 4928 fund,
Yeah,
currently I'm at have left 37,395.37, but I haven't gotten final bills from them yet for this year.
for the pictometry,
Yes,
which around approximately,
I'd have to go upstairs and look, I'm sorry.
Evelyn can look.
She's looking it up. I'm not gonna give her my password when she gets to my office.
Come on, speed it up, woman.
It's the shirt.
I know, it's the shirt. It's thrown her all off.
Yeah. I mean, I even have stripes.
You did the stripes thing, I'm out too, so.
We spent $2,500 so far this year.
For the 30303, 2,500?
Out of 40,000 or
Yeah.
39,000.
Mhm.
And then
How much,
what was the,
the pic,
yeah,
the pictometry? Do you
pictometry?
know approximately how much she's, well, will that come out of Robbie's 170?
Robbie did certain pieces of departments' jobs in the past.
Correct.
And when she retired, it went back to the
Where?
offices that
That should have been doing it.
I don't know what company used to be looking for past budget.
I'm trying to think. Well, we're halfway through the year, you've only spent 2,500. I understand you have more stuff coming out, which is normal. But even last year, you only spent 35,000. I'm trying to understand the need for the increase. And part of that was an increase for, I'm going back and forth. Repairs and maintenance stuff, 41,000. You've only spent 2,500.
We're just trying to determine what the pictometry is gonna
Well,
roughly to decide how to cut.
I mean, they spent 35,000,
yeah,
24, right? So
yeah.
so it sounds like there's quite a bit of money gonna be spent still.
That's what,
35,000 if they need something.
what was the 35,000 that was spent in 2024 for?
Part of it was that server, part of it was the upgrade to the Xsoft pictometry software, and I believe it was part GIS, which is that pictometry piece of it.
Is there a, ongoing like maintenance fee or anything for the Xsoft or the GIS, like an annual fee that you have to pay?
Yes, but I'm not sure exactly what it is. I'd have to look it up. I mean, because I'm new to this game,
You're
Good.
fine.
That's why
Um,
Evelyn's helping look things up. You're good.
I mean, if we had to cut something like that in half, but if I end up running short, being able to come in here and ask for it, I mean, I don't have a problem doing that, if that's gonna help you guys.
I mean, and that's fine. Or we're just trying to, because you are new at this, we're trying to make sure that what is actually budgeted is still on a normally used basis. And, you know, a lot of them, you have your repairs and maintenance software, you know, that you pay at the end of the year for that upcoming year. I know that's what's done in the auditor's office and stuff in the past, also in the treasurer's office, so.
Yeah.
We're not picking on you, I promise.
No, I know.
Yeah, we don't wanna
I
cut you
I
so
don't
much
feel like
that you
are.
do have to come back and see us a lot. We would rather not.
Yeah, the less we have on our agenda, the better things are.
Correct. I know that I'm in the process of having DJ come in and change out a couple of the girls' monitors. So I still haven't gotten a bill for the equipment and whatnot and his installation
Mhm.
charge for those. There's two of those.
And that'll be coming out of your 25?
Correct. I thought he would already be done with them by now, but I think he's super busy also.
You had people that retired and moved on, correct?
Correct.
So is that the drop in the benefits?
Well, that should be the drop in the benefits, but because you took part of that money and moved it to pay for your Nexus.
Next, correct.
But the deputy salaries up top haven't changed.
I'm looking to hire one person back, but I'm not keeping, PJ's salary, Kevin's salary, and my part-time salary, I've given back.
Don, so in the budgets here, you didn't put in for another position, right? Or you-
I haven't asked for another position yet, I'm looking to hire,
Yeah, but I mean, it
Someone.
wouldn't be included in this budget.
well, I kinda thought it was, but maybe not.
So how many deputies are being paid out of your 10113 for your reassessment?
Well,
right
there's
now?
Amy, which is the first deputy, and then right now I have Shanna and Michelle.
2 out of 10113.
2 out of 10113 and 1 out of your first deputy 10114.
Correct.
So I guess that is budgeted for 3.
Yeah, it's budgeted
Yeah,
for
that's
3.
Alright. So it's,
So that'll be for the next person that I hire, be the third one.
looks like it to me. So, I thought maybe it wasn't in there, since it's the same as last year.
Well, and I was thinking that that should be lower since we took that money and put it for professional contract services and increased that for the Nexus.
Well, the data collector position came off.
2 data collectors positions,
See, my
yeah.
brain's not looking everywhere. It's too early
Okay.
for it. Thank you, Jay.
Yep. Okay.
That's where I was missing.
It's okay. And also the part-time position too.
Well, you don't even have 10112 in here. You don't have any part-time in here at all.
Probably it came out last year when I extended the Nexus contract maybe.
Well, there's no 10112 since 24.
Okay.
Sorry, I still have numbers memorized. Did we ever figure out any information?
The repairs and maintenance for 2024, there was a 33,000, it was ex-opt, and it was for support.
Okay.
And that covered a portion of 24 and then through August of 2025.
Okay. And is that an ongoing expense
I believe so,
of
yes.
that amount?
It's like my
Loud.
lab, but that's an annual
Right.
expense.
Okay. Nope, I just checking for clarification.
Sounds like we should leave that one alone.
So the repairs, maintenance, and support, that 33,000 is the ex-opt.
Yeah, the majority of all that is that exhaust, yes. And then he's added for the pictometry part of it. So Jay had suggested leaving the 41,924 alone for repairs and maintenance. Does that sound doable?
Are we, going to strike equipment? The 19,303, that was because of the server?
What else comes out of his equipment, anything?
Well, if we zeroed the equipment in the other one, right? So he was gonna need to get his tablet
Two
or
tablets.
the license or software or something, I don't know.
Is that the money that you left in the assessor's budget?
We cut the equipment out of the assessor,
Assessor.
the 3,300.
Okay.
And how much has been spent out of the equipment? What did you just say?
$400.
And then it'll be, can we strike it in half, $10,000 for a tablet?
I think that would
That would give you
Cover
the
everything.
tablet, the software, and things like that, since we don't have the server cost of the extra 13,000.
Go for it. If I run short, I'll be coming in here and talking with you guys.
Okay, so,
Changing that to 10?
I think
that
so.
would be,
Yeah.
change it to 10? No? Jay? Okay.
10, so that'll cover, cause he said a tablet and software is approximately 7,800, so that'll give them extra 2,000 just in case.
Yep.
Equipment's 10,000.
Mm-hmm.
And the increase in the professional contract lease on the 4928, that's the Nexus, right? For the software, the 168.
Is that on 4928?
Yes, sir. Cause
Um,
it increased 100,000.
That's the
The
Nexus
Nexus, I
contract.
assume so,
Yes.
okay. Are we keeping the deputy salary the same with the added individual?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Cause that two are there and there's one more in there to fill.
And that won't throw off
And-
any of the benefits or anything, will it, since they all dropped so much?
They'll calculate it.
Yeah, she'll calculate it when she's on it.
And I won't start the new person out at the max anyways. I'll start out a little bit lower, her or him a little bit lower until they get their level 2.
So for the 4928, we took the equipment down to 10,000. That's the only thing, everything else we left the same, correct?
Yes.
We're good? Okay, 1131, printing of forms, disclosure.
Did it drop because everything? for
I
the
haven't
printing?
used it. I don't know that I'm going to use it.
Is it because everything's electronic?
Well, we're printing like the F11s and everything in-house, and I'm just buying the paper and everything, but the supplies from another account. I think at one point in time in the past, we used to pay Robbie for printing up maps. And we're not paying that anymore either, so, I mean, it wouldn't hurt my feelings if you got rid of that.
So they're striking the 1,000 for the printing of the forms from the 1131.
But that's also 1131 account, and that's from the sales disclosures anyways, right? So if
Yeah.
I really need more, I can always talk to you about that.
Yeah. What are we doing? What'd you?
Zeroing the 202,
Okay.
Yes. For the, I did want to ask about the per diem and the conferences. You said that you're going to be hiring new staff and sending more. Your budget is the same?
Well, for the per diem and conferences, kind of changes every year, so I'm kind of worried about falling short on those. Again, it is at the 1131 account, so I guess it wouldn't be a problem with me coming and getting more money out of that, but,
And it has two of those. If you have his two 1131 budgets, one you're looking at right now is just for him. And then if you flip the page, he also has a real estate, and has another per diem and mileage reimbursement.
Okay.
and I don't really lose that money, right? If it's not used, it just goes
No,
back
it just
into
sits
the
in that fund.
1131, so.
Yes. If he did see himself running short per diem, he could come before you and
Take it out of there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Perfect.
Not, a lot of departments have this extra stuff like this, but this is one of them.
I got nothing else.
Anybody else have a question? All right. Hey, thanks.
You're very welcome, thank you. It was a little bit more painful than I was expecting, but not too bad.
It looks good.
That's it?
That's it.
We're all good?
Great.
Thank you. You all have an awesome rest of your day.
Yeah, thanks.
Bye.
Treasure.
last year we paid it, but this year Christina paid the big
Correct.
bills, so
Right,
that's why that went down.
that works.
It's a good thing.
What was this on?
So that would have been her repairs and maintenance.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, last year it was 68,000,
And
so,
this year it's 16.
yeah,
It got moved over to Christina's.
yes.
Doesn't change our end numbers.
No.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
It's all good.
Yeah, I think it did go up probably a little bit, like everything else.
Do we have any questions for her? We got the 303 part of it, that went down. Your printing of forms went up.
It did go up, as you noticed, when I had to come in and transfer the money, we already had the pink envelopes from the previous year from Masters Touch. They order it from Canada, so it's gonna take longer, and I don't know if they really charge for that, but also the postage went up. It's 74 cents now, so I just wanted to make sure, which I doubt we use all of it, but we also have a credit for postage this year, but of course that goes to commissioners because they pay for the postage, so we do have an $8,000 credit for that, so, but that doesn't go for printing forms, of course.
Thoughts, questions? Are we good with the increase?
I think so. We added in the part-time salaries last year.
Yes, I did hire a part-timer in July, so, and she's good with that, and she's not really working to make the 15,000, but we haven't got to tax season yet, so. She's, coming in when she can, and so we are going to utilize it if that's okay.
Not really changed much.
No, I tried to keep it. Our office supplies, I kept it the same. I just had to order 2 printers. That's expensive, and then we have tax receipt paper we have to order, and it's close to $2,000, so. But I think that budget's fine for us. Haven't really got, we're close this year, but that's just because we had to order the printers.
If you needed the part-time but you didn't hire till July, can I ask why?
Yes, Nicole and I tried. And then in May 15th, I had an emergency high blood pressure, went to the ER. It was just too much for 2 people, because we're staying after now to do the checks, to balance, so that when we come in the next day, all we have to do is balance to what we've already done, make sure it matches. But you're running checks, sometimes we're not out till 6, so part-timer would help keep that balance between getting too overwhelmed, I think, so.
I'm sorry, you guys don't leave until 6?
Some nights,
during tax time.
during tax
Oh, yeah,
time,
no, I
I'm
totally
sorry.
get that. I think
Yeah.
on a regular basis, I'm like, I'm sorry, that doesn't
Totally
work.
talking about
During the tax time.
that
Okay.
short period.
Okay, that makes more sense.
It's just overwhelming, and then it was a lot for just 2 of us. There's just too many people that come in, and then you're trying to process that. The phones are ringing, you're doing lockbox, returns, it's just a lot. So, yeah, definitely gonna utilize that part-timer now, because it's gonna help keep us from getting overworked. We thought we could do it, it just wasn't good.
How much of the part-time employee salary has been used?
Not very much, because she just started in July, so right now she gets close to 5 each pay. Although I had her skip a few days, and that's what I'll do, I'll tell her, we're not that busy right now, go ahead and stay home, and, she's real flexible and doesn't really care if she's not here every day. Well, she's not really here every day, she's just 2 full-time days, and then, she's here half a day.
Is that year-round or just tax time?
Tax time I'll have her every day, but she's just gonna do 4 hours a day. She's not gonna do full days, she's just gonna do, and before the noon started for lunch, we would've had her 10 to 2. But now we're gonna do mornings, cause that's when we're busiest. So we can do the balancing and maybe not have to stay till 6 every night that we're
Just during
super
tax
busy.
time.
Just during tax time. That's it. The other times, it's just gonna be,
One thing you can look at is she has a part-timer in there that can do even just nothing but open mail.
yes,
That money gets to the bank quicker and you make interest on it,
in the phones.
rather than setting the mail piling up until the end.
That's what happened. And then we'd get it done, and then go to the bank, and the next day it'd be full again. So, yeah, and while you're still busy at the front, so.
I'm just wondering, cost-wise, 15,000 for just tax time.
Well, she's coming in now. She's still doing things. She really
She's in,
is.
you said 500 every 2 weeks?
Well, she works so she works Monday, Wednesday, and part-time on Thursday. So, because if we don't bring her in, she's not gonna know what to do. That's kind of why I like having it, because we're teaching her now, so when we get really busy. And she does a lot of the phone right now, so that's been helping while we balance to the banks and things like that.
Any other questions? Okay. All right, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
Greg?
I didn't bring any paperwork, sorry.
I was gonna say, it's a giant piece of paper you have there.
That's right. Nothing changes, so,
You increased your telephone from
Yeah.
360 to 600, about 240.
that was done last year that I didn't know about, so, yeah. And I'm coming to you tonight to get it done for this year.
Okay, yeah, let's just get it fixed for next year
Yeah.
then.
It's just because the cell phone stipend changed from 30 a month to 50.
Yeah.
Right, I forgot about that. Otherwise, there's no other changes, in your county general side.
Right.
Your corners perpetuation, you've added in benefits
No.
and stipend.
A stipend for me, because when we do a section corner, it's a state code or whatever, that if you're an unregistered surveyor, the surveyor gets $2 per section corner. If you're PLS, you get $4 per stone. So that's just an extra stipend that I didn't know about when I took office.
Well, along with that is you have to include the benefits, so she's included that on here also.
Okay,
That's what I was
very good,
referring to.
yeah,
Okay. Otherwise, there's no changes,
right.
and this is out of this, that's, the majority of that's out of this perpetuation, so. Any questions?
Nope.
Thanks, sir.
Nice and easy, thanks.
Yeah, we like that. That one normally is pretty easy.
Thanks.
Thank you. Good morning, ladies.
Bailey's gonna give you, we have our little update that we usually give you for
Okay.
each year.
Thank you. Be good down there, babe.
Thank you.
I know.
So I guess any questions for us? I mean,
Let's see, your part-time, you increased that?
yes, we did increase that, because we've gradually increased the person's wage if they come back each year. And that's starting to hurt us in hours come fair time, because they're only there for the summer months as a summer clerk.
And then your overtime?
Just to, again, kind of help come fair time. We've just done that in case their salaries changed, because we weren't sure what was gonna happen as a result of the wage study that was done.
Anything else? Any other questions for him? I mean, there's not a lot of increase. Oh, the.
Contractual
The
services with
contractual
Purdue.
service, which is set by Purdue.
Yeah, that's set by Purdue.
That's what I figured. It was on my mark.
Where did the office rent come out of in 2024? It's not really a question for you guys, but like, did we move it for a certain reason last year?
We could have, there's no place else for it
It
to.
used to come out of the commissioner's
Commissioners.
budget and keep it clean, and it got moved to their actual department budget.
Okay, I didn't remember that.
Obviously, I didn't remember.
I don't have any questions for you.
Anything else for anybody?
Nope.
Okay. Thank you, ladies.
All right, thanks.
So we can call back up on our time. We'll go back to lunch. Here, you're not on the right side of the table right now.
No.
I know.
Yep.
I would bring jackets, but I'm on top of it.
We'll see, I usually sweat during the meetings.
Oh, no, that's. Yep. Yep,
You like
I thought there was supposed to be just two.
You're good. We have a stapler back, I guess. We could use it. It was in my way, I moved it. Yeah, you were, and you were here for a lot yesterday for the meeting, so. I don't need them all stuff, so I'm trying to keep myself from getting a headache at the same time.
Numbers and math all day. Are we scheduled through for the council meeting?
Yeah, the break. I would like to, just to bump it up and.
Yeah.
So I just have a snapshot here of the current projects that we are involved in. We have, the Big Walnut Creek Implementation Grant, so the total award for that is a 3-year grant. It's $345,000. It's to, reduce sediment and nutrients going into Big Walnut Creek. We have our Putnam County Remove Invasive Plants. So there's a core group, and we pull in volunteers, when we can get volunteers, to do weed wrangles to remove invasive plants. So last year, over 100 hours of volunteer hours removing invasive plants from public areas. There's a Mill Creek Planning Grant. So this is developing a watershed management plan, and then the next step to that is implementation. That's actually held in Hendricks County, but we, help out a lot because a lot of the watershed is in Putnam County. Our mini grant program, so far this year, we've obligated almost $7,700, get my 0 comma right, $7,700 so far in 2025. We've got more applications, and our board meets this Thursday, so they will review those applications. So by the end of the week, that number will go up, but as of today, that's where we're at. And then the Conservation Reserve Program, it's a federal program, but we help out with some of their status reviews, which means we go out to the field, we look, we measure what plants are there, and then do the paperwork and report back. So far in 2025, we've submitted a request for $22,620 to, ultimately it comes from federal, but there's kind of a zigzaggy path to get to us. And then, of course, we have education programs, youth education programs, we have adult education programs, and then, of course, there's just the regular admin, board meeting, follow-up, all of that we get to do. So looking forward to 2026, I am in the process of writing a grant to submit. It's called Clean Water Indiana is the grant program. It's through the state, and I'm hopefully, if we get awarded the grant, then I'm gonna hire a full-time person to help out with all the projects, because there's stuff that I just don't have time and energy to get to. So that'll be a 3-year if it's approved, that'll be 3 years of, another staff person. I'm throwing this out there, like, hopefully at the end of this grant, we can prove that, you know, it is beneficial enough for the county to have another full-time staff person, that the county eventually picks it up, so. In the future, no just, you know, I don't want a surprise in 3 years or 5 years or whatever that happens to be. We are the Conservation Reserve Enhancement Program is a state program, but they rely on districts to administer the program, which means get signatures and do different things. So Putnam County is the administrator for that, for the Lower Eel watershed, which Big Walnut goes into Lower Eel. So we are in that watershed. And then we have, as Carrie knows, we bought property several years ago, maybe 5 years ago, with the idea of developing that into a native plant garden. We don't have staff, time, and energy to actually accomplish that. So so far we're bush hogging it every couple years and trying to reduce the invasive species. And you can see, so this direct impact 2024, so these are exact 2024 numbers. The county expenditure was $102,000 for the department. These are numbers that like tie directly to that. So before we had a big sheet that had a lot of federal numbers on it. I don't directly impact those federal numbers a lot of times. Like I might have some to do with that, but the direct, you know, I can't draw a direct line. So these are things that I can draw a direct line to. State matching funds, the state in code says they're going to, if counties, or it's mostly comes from counties, but if they spend at least 10,000, the district gets 10,000. Last couple years that they've been able to give us 20,000, but that's reevaluated every budget with the state. There's a training reimbursement that the state Soil Conservation Board offers. The item 319 funds, that's that Big Walnut Creek grant. So that's a grant that I wrote that we were awarded. And then the CRP reimbursement, that's, you know, we go out and do work with the Conservation Reserve Program. So that's money that comes directly into the district based on work that we do. So for each dollar that the county spent in 2024, through our direct involvement, we brought back $1.57 into the county. And then there's just some, the rest of it is just some numbers on how much impact is getting done in Putnam County. This is federal, state, and local dollars. So, you know, how much sediments are we keeping out of our creeks and rivers? There's a page on how much funding and where the funding comes from, federal, state, and local, and then the number of practices that are active in the county. And you can see those numbers. They kind of, you know, bounce around a little bit, but overall number has been going up.
Very good, thank you for all that. What are your office supplies?
So it is software that we have to have to complete like payroll and things like that. Paper, pens, normal office supplies. I've been back 6 years with the district and I don't think I've spent that full amount.
So your software should be coming out of your miscellaneous services, I guess. Not typically out of the office supplies.
So miscellaneous services is, let me look at the number. I don't have it in front of me. I should have done that.
Through
7,500.
Yeah, miscellaneous services used to be, we used to have to pay rent for our office space, and that was out of that number. And when we stopped paying rent, which I will say 10 years-ish, it was before I worked for the district ever, so I don't know how long it's been since we've had to pay rent, but they've never wanted to completely take that. They want to keep that on the budget just to, at any point, you know, federal government, let's say priorities change every few years, and they could start charging us rent at any point in time. We don't, you know, We don't have any say over that.
I think office supplies needs to be cut for just, if it's just like pens and things like that, at least drop it down.
Cause you've only spent $70 out of it so far
Right.
for this year.
Yeah. I'll have some other, coming up towards the end of the year, I'll have some more. To try to get everything in before the new year starts. But if you wanna drop that down, I'm fine with that dropping.
I'm just looking at that in the miscellaneous services and charges. Do you know how much the software is for your pay and stuff like that? Or is it like an annual fee?
Yeah. It's an annual fee.
Cause your miscellaneous services, you haven't spent anything out of that one yet so far this year.
Right.
And that's your annual fee, you said? But you said that you want to keep part of that in there because of the rent.
I think-
That's what they've done in the past.
I think striking it, and then if it ends up being a change, coming back.
Say we cut that, and if they decide to come back
Yeah.
for rent, then we'll deal with it.
We can make the adjustments for
We're
rent.
trying to make up $3,000,
$3 million.
We need to start finding some cuts. That's just my opinion.
You wanna cut too?
Yeah, I mean, what do you want?
Well, they've only spent $70 for supplies, so we make that cut 1,000.
I was gonna say 500 for additional, I don't know, somewhere between 500 and 1,000.
On those
Maybe
supplies,
those-
can you get by with $500? Realistically,
Yeah, I mean,
It'd be, so I bought a new computer I think it was about 2 years ago. The only time, in normal years, yes, but, eventually when I have to replace that computer.
okay, but the computers shouldn't be coming out of the office supplies. It needs to be.
But that's the only fund I have.
No, this is all the same fund.
I know,
It needs to
but-
come out of a different account. It needs to come out of maybe your miscellaneous services, or she needs an equipment
Choose an
account.
equipment account number,
Yes,
or.
we're trying to
if
clean
she's
your stuff.
only-
Right,
if it's only
understood.
You're
a
good.
Computer, which you purchase maybe once every 2-4 years.
Right.
Then come in and ask for an addition.
Okay.
Yeah, it sounds like, you need an equipment account. If you have computer type stuff your software stuff that you're paying out of there, that needs to come out of that stuff.
Okay.
The office supplies should really be for the paper, the pens, that
Right.
stuff. there.
Understood. Yep.
Now we're doing cleanup here.
Yeah.
Okay, so office supplies itself, not software stuff, actual office supplies.
500's fine.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
500?
So now I had the 1,000 back. Carrie, and I know you know this budget too, so please speak
Yeah.
up. Don't hesitate, you're good.
Slitting her, your thing.
I understand that too, don't want to step on her toes. Then your,
Miscellaneous.
well, then she's got the dues.
Oh.
It didn't increase, but it went from 3,000 to 5,000. You only spent 3,900 out of it, as of right now.
Right.
So do you have more?
Yes.
Do
There are
you-
things that we pay towards the end of the year, that would go into that dues.
Your miscellaneous services. You spent 1,644 out of that in 2024. You've not spent anything out of that so far this year. You've got it at 7,510. What are you expecting to spend out of that?
I haven't, in the 6 years I've been back, I haven't used all of that at all. Like, I would say, I don't know that I've used over 2,000. I mean, I'd have to look exactly, but I don't know that I've used over 2,000 in any single year since, in the past 6 years.
Should we cut 5,000, do 2,500? Well, I was thinking 2,500, that would give her a $500 buffer if she needs any additional service charges. And then, what do you guys think?
I'm listening.
Huh?
I'm listening.
Oh,
I talk
yeah,
all the
no.
time. I'm listening.
I was just saying, if she hasn't spent over 2,000, do 2,500, so cut it by 5. just to have a $500 buffer if she's never went over $2,000. Then when it comes to like equipment or something, she can come back and request for if your computer is terrible.
Rent.
Or rent. Oh, yeah, rent.
And don't
And if they,
hesitate.
Yeah,
if they
just-
do that, then I'm gonna have to come back and I'm gonna be like,
Absolutely.
all right,
100%.
here's what they're telling me to
Yeah.
keep my office
So,
space,
absolutely.
so.
That's what we can,
So we're taking the 30360 down to 2,500, is that correct?
Yes.
yes.
Okay. Did you get that, Jackie?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I got it.
Okay.
But yeah, then rent or computer, just come back and we'll just hear it and then.
And then we'll
Help you
create
out.
an account for that
Mhm.
one, that way it's being prepared. That way, when the state board of accounts looks at things to audit, they're being paid out of the proper accounts.
Okay.
Are we good with that one? And then your contractual labor, you increased that by 540?
That's, so Jenna is part-time
Gotcha.
with us and Purdue sets that rate.
Yep. I know how that produce stuff works, don't worry. Anything else we need to harass her about?
No, just for each other, come back.
All right.
We're really not mean, I promise.
No,
You're fine. We are having our locally led, so this is where we talk about the natural resource concerns of the county. That meeting is Thursday at 6:30. If you are interested in participating but can't come that evening, I do have a survey, so just let me know. And I will send you the online survey and you can participate that way also.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now what, we're on break, right?
break, we rest our brains for a minute.
Okay. We're on break?
You're on break.
Okay, we'll be back here at 10:45. What do we do with this? The light feed.
Jackie, do you know when they do breaks, do we keep this going or do they pause it? On the last
Yeah,
one?
you're fine.
I would probably pause it. Do you have a message that says you're on break? Then I'd leave it open.
Just leave it open, okay.
Well then, we'll take you
I'm out.
home.
Go out there and chit chat.
Go to.
I'm eating my biscuit.
Hold on, there.
That's it. They need everything. Oh, I know they. Yeah,
Don't judge me and my biscuits. Danny is, look at him, he's got the judgiest face.
There's nothing wrong with biscuits.
I know, they're good biscuits too.
I'm from the south.
That explains a lot. I really enjoy your tan line.
Worked hard for it.
Do what?
His tan line,
Oh, yeah.
his hat. So go out there if everybody's out there. What are you eating? Almonds?
Almost walnuts.
Nice. I'm not gonna carry my bag of biscuits.
I was struggle there at the accessory.
Yeah.
It's like, this is gonna be a long day. That's how this goes. Still working some up there at, nature
Yeah.
marketplace. It's at McLeod.
Yep.
Name was escaping me after I started to ask.
That's been a rough year with all the mowing.
Hadn't quit, has it?
No. Then we had that storm about a month or so ago. We still cleaning up trees from that.
Yeah.
I think with the state cutting funding for local hospitals, I can't see this one down here staying open much longer.
So that's caused hindrances.
Well, I know,
More than that.
I'm just saying, they don't do deliver babies anymore, they don't do surgeries, I mean, you know, how much longer?
They get rid of, whatchamacallit there, Whitford,
Weatherford,
Weatherford. Hell, Hendricks could probably finance it.
or,
They get
As I
rid
said.
of him. He's been a pain in the ass, he was on the OL board, and he still is. He thinks that we ought to be paying them. Brought that up many a times. I said, "Well, don't you charge for medical bills? Do you think we ought to pay you to be here? It's crazy." Hell, no, what's funny, this is the funniest part, if you talk to people and you get around and talk, people from Putnam County, majority goes to Hendricks County. Majority of Hendricks County people come to Putnam County. Why? I don't get it. Nobody's been able to answer that question.
I don't know anybody from Hendricks came over here for healthcare.
You know, I went through the cancer over Hendricks and Danville, they were just absolutely outstanding.
on our agenda is the sheriff's department.
Hi,
Hi, sir. How are you?
well, and yourself?
Would you like to step up to our microphone?
I guess so. Is this new? We were
Yep.
just sitting in the chairs last year.
I know.
This looks official.
I know, right?
What do you need to know?
We have $3 million to cut,
Okay,
so,
you want recommendations?
sure.
I'd start south of town at, no, just kidding.
Our first one in front of us that we have is your county general sheriff's budget, your 005. Which you're asking for a new position, a civil deputy for the courthouse, is that correct?
Right. Did you guys get the budget notes that we sent?
Yes, sir.
You wanna go down through those in order, or you wanna start with your?
Whatever you want.
Let's go down through those in order, if you don't mind. The one is the sergeant position. So currently, we have 2 corporal positions, only one of them's being used. I plan to phase those out eventually. They're not merit positions, they're just at will. So they were added some time ago. I'd like to replace them with, so the increase would be, to the budget would be $2,400. We've got a corporal position I don't think's been used this year at all. So it's not a huge increase to what we're spending now, but that would give us, right now we have 13 deputies, 9 supervisors, and it would give us 12 deputies with 10 supervisors. The sergeant position would be, what the benefit that I've, since becoming sheriff, was I was able to get a supervisor on each shift, which we didn't have when I got here. And then what this would do, it would be allow those sergeants that are in those positions that have been working the road for a while, if I need them into an administrative type position, which is where I'm at now, to handle things, that would be moving them from there without having to demote them or having a place to move them. So to retain that sergeant position on the road, I'm asking for one new sergeant position, not a new person. It's just a promoted rank of sergeant. Questions? Next one would be the courthouse deputy position. So I was approached by the clerk, the elected clerk, in a meeting that we were having, and that they feel like that the jailer that was removed from the courthouse back to the jail because we needed people there is a position that should somehow be replaced. And so I was asking around in the courthouse of the people that would be interested in one, and the only way that I would be interested in bringing it back would be that it's a full-time deputy position, not a jailer position. The one that was here before that did things like a foot patrol in the area with a firearm that worked for me was a jailer position, and we needed more jailers, and we still do. So they took, instead of giving us 2 new jailers positions at the jail last year, gave us 1 new jailer and pulled the jailer out of the courthouse and put him back in the jail. So this position of new courthouse deputy would replace that. We also had a special deputy that was working for the commissioners that was armed, that was down, and they haven't replaced them, and I don't know that they have an intention to replace them. Talking to one of the commissioners yesterday. So this is a want, not a need, but it's a request that's been from the courthouse. I've asked other people to come today that if they're interested in it. The one that Judge Bridges can't make it, but he was supported, and Judge Headley both were in support of it. I did get responses from them. But if anybody else wants to speak on it, I would yield my time to them, that if they do want somebody in here like that, which it would be a academy certified deputy. It wouldn't be a special deputy or reserve, anything like that. It would be one of those. So that's where we're at with that.
My question is on that, what would that role be? Where would that person be? Would they be floating through the building? Would they be right here in the front?
Yeah.
What would that role be?
The role that I foresee it being is that it's a supervisory role. I have 7 special deputies in the courthouse right now, 3 that are courthouse bailiffs, and 2 that work in probation, and 2 that work in community corrections. Right now, we supervise them from 13 Kitely Road, and that's a horrible way to do it. a couple of things that the responsibilities would be, this is where the judges were happy, is that there'd be a supervisory role from this deputy, may not be a merit deputy, that's a whole nother discussion, but it would be a full-time deputy. They wouldn't be pulled off to cover road shifts or anything, it's gonna be dedicated to the courthouse.
Right.
So it's a courthouse deputy, if you
Right.
will. In the past and in other counties, that position is a retired officer from another department or from wherever. It could be from out of state even if we advertise it. It's usually not a 22-year-old that's never been to the academy. It won't be. It just won't be. I will be making the decision of who it would be. And it may or may not be even a merit position. I would not recommend it. Talking with the auditor about the abilities to do that, it would be something that we could definitely keep out of the merit system. So with that said, it is easier for me to put here, place here, and keep here. They would leave, I would expect only a couple of things, and that would be an emergency in the general vicinity, like, next street over, or at a bank or something, they would leave, and then transporting inmates possibly from adult probation or wherever they might be picked up on a warrant or a violation, and back to the jail, but they would not be a road deputy that's just here sometimes. I mean, because like I said, this came from the outside, not the inside, so I'm telling you everything I know.
Right.
Yep. Next up is the 4 merits moving up in matrix. That's just part of the system, the way it works. Down through benefits, retirement fund, it's not an additional 521,000. It's going from 442,262 to 521,450. So that's an increase. We have a possibility of a retirement at the first of the year, and we try to guess, which is what the previous matron has done in the past, of what the retirement payout would be. Attorney salary, I still don't know why it's in the budget, but it's beyond me, because we pay for it out of commissary with the approval of the county council. Let's see, you want to stop on any of those? You got any questions on those?
The attorney salary, you pay for that out of your commissary, so.
I don't know why it's in the budget.
Okay,
I-
we'll
that's
zero
beyond
that
The
then.
reason it was in the past was because it used to be 30,000,
Right,
and then you cut it to 15.
yep,
So to make it cleaner, Tricia used to write a check, 15,000 out of commissary, we received it into county general,
okay.
and then it was in that account.
So
So
then,
if he's gonna pay it fully out of commissary and it doesn't go through like payroll or claims through us, then there's no reason to do it through
Keep
us.
it.
I believe it is now. Do you know how we pay him?
Still through payroll.
Oh, it is through payroll.
Yeah,
Do you want to leave it in
Through
there?
our payroll, then it has to be a budget line item.
Okay,
Okay.
very good.
Okay,
And then the other one would be the canine services. So that's an addition to, so that's 10,000. The way our canines work now, they're a very valuable part of our enforcement program that we have with the sheriff's office. We have 3 canines, and the way the process works now, we pay for it all out of donations and/or safety and education. So that's how we pay, and it was that way before I got there, and we've continued that way. One of the things that happened this year was the county commissioners were approached to spend $3,500, I believe it was, on the Roachdale police canine.
yes,
And leaving that meeting and looking towards the future, I believe that for the future of the Putnam County Sheriff's Office is that canine should be a budgeted item, not a begging item. Go around the community and beg for help to support our canine officers. I believe that the county budget should support it, and then we could still do donations for everything else that comes along with it, or for a new bite suit or whatever that we might see that we need. But right now, there's no line item for the Putnam County Sheriff's Department's canine program, and I don't think there's a future in that. There's a past in it, but I think the future would be beneficial to have a line item for the canine program.
You said there's 3.
We have 3 canines, yeah. Questions? Moving on, insurance. Let's see, it went up on its own as my note, property and casualty. There's just a rise in, it wasn't explained to me that there was a rise in any because of claims or anything. It was just insurance. If you follow your own home insurance, I think is the same way, is that there was just an additional, just keeps going up every year, and that's what we're anticipating. And then the next one is the big one that, if you've been working on your own cars and/or noticed fleet management, one of the things that we noticed is that the cost of everything is going up on fleet management. We changed a water pump on a Ford Explorer, and it was $4,000 to change a water pump. We had brakes, new calipers and pads put on for $2,200. Those are all going up. And the matron looked up and it says that we have not increased it since 2014.
So that's Becky's fault now.
What's that now? Yeah. No, she's the one that can't believe what it costs to fix cars, but it is what it is. And that's what, the way we look at it is, we've been really Band-Aiding old cars to keep them running, and that's just kind of where we're still at. Other than that, that's the only notes I have for the sheriff's budget for additionals. Questions?
This is the 10,000 for the K-9 services. Is it listed in here anymore?
It is. Becky's on it. We'll see what she finds.
Yes.
Goes under,
It's the 30360,
yes,
10,000.
yes.
That's the K-9.
Yes.
Okay.
That way they can easily track expenses.
Questions on the sheriff's side, road side? Want to move to jail budget?
Can I speak on the mayor's deputy support of that?
That's great.
Most of you know, I'm Lisa with the planning department. We have meetings in the evenings, and I'm usually the last one to leave. Those doors are always open throughout the entirety of the meeting. So from 5:15 until we leave, whenever the meeting's over, anybody can come in this building, and there's no one here to verify where they're going, where they've been. So when I'm the last one out of here, there could have been somebody in here and anything could happen. Not that I don't ever feel safe, but that's just a concern, because not only could they hide in a bathroom for later, they could do any type of damage to the courthouse. But also, nobody comes up to the 4th floor. None of the current deputies that are here, the people that security here, ever come to the 4th floor to check on us. And there's been numerous times where we've had unruly people in there that we've been dealing with, and we can't get to that button to hit it to say, we need help. So having somebody that is up there that kind of does a walk around, and I think it's important that we have each floor covered in some capacity, but especially the meetings in the evenings.
I can relate on the meeting part, because our meetings, our
Yeah.
RDC meetings and other meetings are the same way. But
Yeah.
would that person, that deputy be here for those evening meetings?
Managing the time will be something we'll have to work on. The first step would be even having somebody here at all, and then I think one of two things. We either look towards having a part-time for that to fill in, or flex shift. Flex shift is probably gonna be the biggest thing, so they may not be here 8 to 4 every day if they have something later on that night.
Right.
Is what I expect.
So that would be a big question to make sure that that is covered. I agree with you, Lisa, on that part. Anybody else wanna talk?
What's the difference in the professional contract and lease, the 30366, 2024, 17,520, we went to 37,485.
That's what?
The vet tech.
On ours? Becky, why don't you explain it then?
Well, first timer here, so I really don't know, but that's the amount that the sheriff's budget takes on to pay for the animal vet tech at the shelter for our animal control. But it's still on our, yeah, so that's the increase from the 17, whatever it was, to 37,
questions? Danny? Amanda, you have questions?
I have a lot, but I'll just wait, go over it all, and then we'll circle back at the end.
Go ahead, sir.
Geo budget? You have the notes. So a want for the jail budget is an additional full-time cook. I'm gonna let the jail commander come up and explain kind of the reason or the request for that additional position. It's easier for him to explain.
So right now, our full-time cook works Monday through Friday, 5 a.m. to about 1 p.m. So that leaves from 1 until dinner's served or dinner's done cleaning up, from 1 to probably 6 o'clock, where we have to have a jailer that's providing additional supervision in the kitchen. The inmate workers are manning and cleaning and doing all that stuff. It's just an additional person there. So we have a part-time jail cook. One of our part-time positions is a cook that tries to fill in some of those, I guess, the hours that there's not a kitchen supervisor there during that time. The issue with that is, on our end, we take away that part-time position from our jail staff to help cover shifts when people are off or time off requests or anything like that. And she's in the kitchen, and we still have some, with her being part-time, we still have some hours where there's not there. So we just wanted to add that, or we're asking to add that second full-time cook, because it used to operate that way, where there were 2 cooks that worked full-time hours. I don't know if they were actually full-time employees. This was back when we paid through everything for DOC.
Right.
and did that, but they would rotate or work opposite shifts so that there was somebody there in the kitchen at all times. And so it's just the idea is going back to that, where we have a kitchen supervisor and we don't have to have as much jail staff intervention in the kitchen or running that kitchen there.
Doing a fine job.
Yeah.
Why don't you just stay right there and finish that?
Okay, so then the other change that we had was our uniform allowance. It's a budgeted line item right now where jailers get $500 in January and $500 in July for uniforms. The way it's worked in the recent years, most of our jail staff, or where our turnover has been, you miss getting your uniform allowance, so then the jail's buying those initial uniforms and then they're gone. So we wanted to take that from like a payroll line item and put that into our uniform budget, and then just have a quartermaster system where we're providing uniforms to jailers instead of giving that $500 twice a year for them.
So you're providing it, so if they leave, then they turn those back in?
Yeah, and it would be maintained like a quartermaster or a uniform closet.
And the increase in that would be because of the cost increase, new position?
I think that we're just moving that, so we're not asking for additional money there. We just want to move it from the payroll line item, which is 10170 maybe.
That's the one, that uniform allowance, that's the increase of the 250.
Yeah.
And
So
that's coming from where?
I don't know why we did a $250 increase, because that $250 isn't really going to do much. It's not going to cover a pair of boots, but yeah, I'm not sure.
So,
$250.
Yes.
Yeah.
We missed that on our sheet.
Yeah,
so that one can be.
You could
Yeah.
take 250 out.
yeah, it
Yeah.
could stay the same and
Okay.
we'd be fine.
And then just leave it as where we're just doing the quartermaster, but it's not a significant increase.
Okay.
One of the issues that we have with that uniform being under salary and not being under equipment is at the end of the year, if we have $3,000 left in and 4,000, we can't buy more uniforms with it. It has to go to salary. So it even causes more of an issue to free up
so they have to be there for 6 months before we will give them that $500, but to start their work, they gotta be uniformed, so we have to encumber that cost rather than pull from the uniform allowance fund to pay for that. So we have a lot more employees right now that we are paying for out of pocket, out of other things, commissary. So the uniform allowance has a hefty balance at the end because we can't use it because the employees don't qualify for it.
We need to clarify something on the
Uniform allowance is in the salary series.
Because of,
They're not required to turn in, it's not a reimbursement. It's money just given to them. There's nothing that even says they have to spend it on. If they, the only way it can be out of the 3,000 series is if they're being reimbursed. If they go buy something and they bring that receipt in, then it can be there. Otherwise, if they're just given a flat $500, there's nothing that proves they spent it on that. The federal government says it has to be salary.
I'm fine with doing, through the per diem reimbursement phase 2 if they go and buy something on their own, but if we have everything in-house, when we hire a new person, we already have all that stuff and we don't, I don't know,
Or we can take them, usually we go to Nelson's to
Yeah.
buy boots and
If they wanna
pants.
do it that way, then we would remove uniforms out of payroll, so they would no longer get a uniform allowance in
Yep.
payroll.
That's what
we're
And then they would purchase
What
the
they need.
uniforms and then do the receipts.
Well, or we at the jail, we go and purchase them and
It's
have
not
them.
even
yeah.
them, it's about us issuing the equipment, because like she said, right now, new jailers are, a lot, we get a lot of new jailers. The turnover rate, is pretty high for that position, and so we're absorbing the cost of their first uniform now, not out of a uniform allowance, does that make sense? And then, so, yeah, we're wanting to do that, and there's nothing that would preclude us legally from going, very good, is to
If
put
they
that.
purchase them and
As
have
long
them
as
on
you're
hand, they're
purchasing,
good.
Yep.
it would be in the 2,000 series basically though, because then you're purchasing
Yep.
supplies.
Perfect.
And you're gonna hand them out.
That's what we are requesting.
And then
Hopefully that
there's
came
an
off.
actual
Receipt for the purchase of that
Oh, absolutely.
equipment as opposed to.
That's what we're requesting. Hopefully that came through on
So if the council
It's the exact same
approves that, then we need to
Oh,
move
okay.
that
So she's
1,000
backing out.
series, and move it to the 2,000 series.
I wasn't listening to you.
If
We would take it out of payroll, so they no longer get that uniform allowance
Yep.
through payroll.
Yep.
They wanna be able to have it in supplies, they would pre-purchase uniforms, and then that way they have them for their personnel. So we just move the money down to the 2,000 series.
Okay. Okay, we can do that.
Any other questions on that? The other things or the other increases that we had was our inmate medical. We went to 325,000 from the 300,000. Our annual contract with our provider went up $11,000. And then just with the costs increase, that leaves us about $62,000 of fluff to pay the additional medical bills when we have to send somebody to the hospital. It's not a huge increase on our end, but it's enough to make sure that we're there, because our current inmate medical, we're a little tight on the $300,000 that we budgeted last year, because they increased our contract price after we'd already had our budget hearing, and added some additional stuff that we have to pay for out of that fluff money. But what the company does is they do bill scrubbing. So if we send somebody to the hospital and we get a bill, that bill goes to our medical provider. Then they take that and they call the hospital. They bring that down. They cut it down. But they take a percentage of what they save us. And I have a spreadsheet where I started calculating this or projecting it when they sent us that information. But they save us quite a bit of money on that, but they also charge for it, so we have to pay them to do that. So I think it's like a 4% maybe of what they save. So that's where that fluff is and where that increase is. The $11,000 contract, and then additional to just make sure that we're covering that, and we don't have to ask for additional funds at the end of the year. This year will be the first year with where that increase had happened, or where that bill scrubbing fee was charged. The other thing, we increased utilities for $5,000 because the cost of utilities are just going up. We're saving money at certain spots, but the costs just go up. So it was a $5,000 increase, and then our postage, we asked for an increase of $500 because, again, postage has gone up, and that is to account for that.
So, circle back to your inmate medical, so you said you're $300,000, you're working tight on that now?
Yeah, that will be for the 2025 budget. Yeah, we're getting close at the end, if
So how
I
much
look
of
at our
that have you
percentages.
spent?
We've spent 77% of that through now, so we have about 23% remaining, which we should be at about 33%, so we're a little tight there. Well, we had one in court the other day, so.
Do we have any questions for him? Anything else we need, questions answered?
And we're really keeping those medical costs down too. Luckily, both judges work well with us, and we don't have crazy medical bills. If we have somebody with a significant medical problem, both judges are pretty easygoing, and we can call and say, hey, what can we do to get this person out of here? So they're working with us on that. You know, obviously we get to points where there's a person that's not safe to be out on pretrial services or whatever, and we just have to eat that. But they've been working well with me in the jail specifically. When I call and ask to try to keep our medical costs down, they work well with us on that end.
Anybody else have any questions for him? Anybody? Okay. We have the 1175, the misdemeanor for the county corrections here for 10,000, for a total of 20,000. Nothing's changed on that one. Do you have any questions for it? Animal shelter. There's some increases in that one. We have, Terry, if you would. Thank you, sir.
Oh, now you gave me something I can't even see.
So you got your operating supplies, it went from, you've increased it from 25,000 up to 35,000, so you've increased that by 5,000.
That's mainly dog food. We used to be able to do it through our supplier at Indy Humane, but with so many dogs all the time now, I'm having to buy more food than normal.
Well, cause last year for 2024, you spent 15,000, so now we're jumping up to 30,000?
I'm making an assumption.
It doesn't fund, that's right, this one does not fund.
Okay.
I forgot, this one does not fund. And then,
I think, I just bumped the utilities a little because I'm getting ready to open a new building with more electricity and more water.
Miscellaneous services and charges.
That's basically medical.
so that was one of my other questions, when you guys were talking about the canine vet stuff. Is any of that come out of this part?
As far
what all do you pay out of your 30360, your miscellaneous services?
Everything medical.
For just you, or does that include any of the sheriffs?
No.
No, okay.
Just the shelter animals. I think I asked for more money on insurance. The last matron was evidently paying some of my insurance out of their insurance budget because mine wasn't big enough.
Well, it's probably because yours doesn't fund, and it still doesn't fund, so we're gonna have to figure out something too.
Okay. A part of that was on like, workman's comp, and that didn't make any sense to me why that would be in my budget, because I'm not paid out of my budget. I'm paid out of the sheriff's department budget, so.
So the property and casualty that you only spent $850 out of last year, now it's up to $3,000?
And I think it was because you didn't have enough to cover the one.
The sheriff's department paid a couple of $400.
Usually has to do some transfers and stuff because he's scraping by with the budget he has. And unfortunately, the revenue that's coming in isn't funding the budget, so we may have to put more of it on county general or for him to be able to fund animal control.
Well, every year I take the $10,000 out of the building fund and transfer it to pay for vet bills. Every year since I've been here, so.
Okay.
Anything else?
Do you have any other questions for him?
Understand, just gotta figure out how we're gonna have to cut it.
We gotta figure it out. Okay. Thanks, sir. Do we have any other questions for the sheriff's department? I know you have, a lot of extra people that came in after the fact. Is there any of the youth deputies that would like to come up and speak in regards to anything? As you all sit there not paying attention to me.
There's one.
Yes, sir?
Community Corrections is in support of the sheriff's request for a civil deputy here at the courthouse. Might add that one of the special deputies that we have on staff is a dedicated field officer and is very rarely here in the courthouse. So that leaves us down to one, and occasionally he's out doing home visits as well, or on vacation, so in an office and not patrolling the courthouse floating around. I can also speak on behalf of adult probation, where the other two special deputies are. They are also in and out of the courthouse on quite a regular basis, doing field visits as well, taking people to treatment, running individuals to the jail who have warrants that have appeared here at the courthouse. So, having a deputized officer here with a weapon would definitely be helpful and would add to the security of the courthouse. So we are definitely in support of that.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Is this new position gonna be replacing part-time positions that are currently?
No, it's an addition. It's a brand new position, not replacing anything.
And then you said the repairs, maintenance, and support, the budget is doubling because of increase of car repairs?
The
So,
vehicle maintenance?
well, there's, you have for the 30303, it says repairs, maintenance, and support. You had $75,000 for 2025, and you're asking for 150.
Vehicle maintenance.
Yes. Are you just confirming what the paper says?
Yeah, I was just making sure that was for that,
And your
instead of the equipment and vehicles at the bottom.
Sorry.
No, you're fine.
And you're increasing your property and casualty, is that just because you're estimating, or you know that's what that's gonna be?
This is from Tricia, because this is I'm just
Yeah.
since June 6th, so the amount it went up last year. We're still gonna be short once we get the last quarter invoices. So she wanted to make sure that we were able to cover that increase for next year. And because the workers' comp went up strictly based on the generous raises everybody got, so.
Okay. Anything else?
I can understand the increases you're asking wholeheartedly. But also on the other hand, over 3 million over budget. We're gonna have to make cuts that we probably ain't gonna wanna make cuts. But I want you to understand that we have to cut $3 million out of our budget. So I don't know what we'll get, what we won't be able to get. It's not just sheriff's department, it's the highway, it's the entire county. And I guess it's one of the times I hate this job. But I can understand the increases, I really can. Courthouse deputy. I think I was probably the last American courthouse deputy here. I can't see how you're gonna be able to operate a courthouse deputy with one courthouse deputy or a part-time. He's gonna be off, he'll be sick. You've got other officers that's out on the road somewhere. Something else we're gonna have to think about if we wanna protect the courthouse. So it ain't just having an extra courthouse deputy, it's figure out how to work the system. You don't wanna use a merit. So you're gonna have to find some retired that has some law enforcement experience. I'm not sure what the answer's gonna be for that. That's my only question as far as the courthouse goes. So we're gonna have to, we'll have to sit down and figure out what's the best solution to solve the courthouse deputy problem. I know when I was here, I had Jerry. He was a jailer. When I wasn't here, he was here. So we may have to figure some type of system that way. I don't know. I know one deputy's not gonna be able to cover this with sickness and vacations and whatever else you decide to give him. So something that you think about when you come up with whatever you think this courthouse deputy needs to be. I don't know if that makes any sense, but
That's what we already talked about.
You only have what you can pay for. If you can't pay for it, then you can't have it. I was asked to bring it in front of you, and I did.
everything, but we only got so much money, folks.
I completely understand. We'll continue to provide the service the best that we can.
I understand that. Been there, done that.
It only takes money.
Appreciate everything you guys do.
Thank you, guys. If there's, anybody else have any more questions, or thoughts? Anybody else need to speak?
I will just add to the new bailiff position. It just dawned on me, I'm just spitballing, I'm ignorant to the whole situation, but if, and down the road, this county annex is gonna be built, you're gonna have somebody that can shift from the courthouse as well.
We have not looked at, we've looked at a possibility of an office at some point, but we have not looked at actually housing a full-time deputy over there on a regular basis at the moment.
And I understand that my thought process is if there is a deputy created, they could alternate or at least
Between the
shift
two.
because your bailiffs are gonna stay here. So if that is something going forward, then the annex is a possibility. It's just, may not be a bad idea to figure out how to get that funded, looking down.
And I think that just talking with hopefully the commissioners and discussing what we currently have and how we can modify that to work with what you are bringing to the table, I think that is the best thing, that, a path to be able to try and figure out how to make this sustainable between the two. Thoughts, Mr. Paul? Oh, I thought you were thinking, thought.
Almost.
Okay. Anything else? Thanks, guys. All right,
Take care.
thanks. Thought we had one more. Says lunch. Yeah, no, where's it now?
Could we increase public lit, public safety and lit jail? Cover these positions? I know Phil brought up before he left that we could,
Decrease the rate.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
we
something
increase
that
the
we have
total
to
rate,
look
but we
at.
decrease what we give the towns.
Yeah, that's something that we have to look at as well.
Cause I mean, that's part of Ron's thing is that communities have to use their lit
Right,
versus money they were getting from the state before.
yes,
So like I said, I think that would be a good,
I think you make a good point.
fund those two positions from lit if we can,
right.
cause that's a little over $100,000 there.
No,
No?
I say, are you talking about the cook and the
Yeah.
deputy? I say no to the cook. They've been doing it in-house,
Well, I know,
and they've been,
but I mean, is there some security risks with the person in the kitchen
I
not
know
doing?
they've been doing it.
I know they've been doing it, but,
And they haven't
I
had
know,
any, cause
but-
they
are we on
choose-
break now?
11:30 is.
but if something would happen, what would your insurance, you know what I mean?
Well,
Well, that person should have been out here, not in the kitchen, so I mean, you're opening yourself up for some litigation because you're not covering your bases, or?
yeah, I just.
I mean, if they can control, that's fine, like I said, I just wanna open ourselves up to a lawsuit because somebody wasn't where they were supposed to be.
Are you guys ready for lunch, recess? Let's, we'll take a recess and then we'll, reconvene at 1 o'clock. And then we can stop all this, correct?